Hello guys, welcome. I'm Samantha the Introvert, and today I want to give you my personal recap on episode 6 of Doctor's Mind. So let's get into it. So after Miles found out about what Knight did to him that night, he ran away. They tried calling Miles, but Miles refused to answer their call, which, dude, you realize what Knight did to me? The brother, I blame the brother. Then this guy shows up. I don't know who he is, but he seems to know Mild very well, and Mild knows him very well too. Back at house, Mud keeps punching Knight and cursing at him, but what Mud finds shocking is that Knight is not even fighting back. Knight basically said that he doesn't need to fight back, but the fact that Knight revealed a big shocker, Mud twisted the whole truth of the story, what happened that night. Basically, he didn't do anything to Mild. So, I'm confused. Then why did you tell Mild that he, Turns out Mud wasn't even there when any of the incident happened. I'm guessing that when it happened or during the end or whatever, and then Mud must have noticed that Knight didn't come back from his bathroom break, quote unquote bathroom break. But when he went there, he saw Mud in a very wrong position with Mild and assumed that that's what happened. But my question is, why didn't Knight just say that? Why didn't Knight tell Mild the reason to the old Mud and him having a bad, why wait on now and then still tell the wrong story? Like, that makes no sense. Then you have Tom and Tonla trying to figure out where Mild is. They don't know where he is. They don't know any other options that Mild will go to. I mean, they're best friends. But I guess sometimes you have to have one or two things for yourself so you can get away. And that is what Mild did. I guess they don't know too much about Mild. Tom was very worried sick for Mild. He showed sign that he was freaking out a little bit. So Tonla tries to comfort him by holding his hands. I mean, the viewers could see the gesture of Tonla, but not Tom. But still, it's there. We all know that Tonla likes Tom, but Tom is too blind for his girlfriend that doesn't even care about him. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about the fact that we can't find Mild. So, Tonla, my question is, how will you confess your love for your best friend, Tom? Will you wait until he finds out that his girlfriend doesn't really like him and break up with him, and you have to wait a little more days or months? Or will you tell him, or would you just wait until she cheats on him or something? How would you do this? Because clearly it's going to eat you alive. Knight is at home and he's clearly remembering how Mild looked when he heard the story. It's sad. And the fact that he's trying to call Mild and Mild refused to answer him. Hell, at this point, he probably blocked him. Then as a good friend, Per came. Just so Per knows nothing about what's happening. He just came because his mother brought food for Knight. But then while preparing the food, Per noticed that Knight doesn't really look interested in the food at all and looked at him and asked what's the problem. Knight then tells him that Mild is upset with him, and then he started telling the story of why he's upset with him. We the viewers don't really hear the reason, but I don't think it has anything to do with that night. After hearing the full gist of the story, Per tells Knight to basically find Mild and apologize to him. Even if he doesn't forgive him, he has to continue apologizing until Mild does. See, that's how I know the whole story wasn't about, what happened. Because you're telling your friend to apologize. Yes, you have to apologize. That's cool. But how he said it, it made it look like it has nothing to do with what everyone told Mild. Knight has a good friend support. I only see Knight with Per, so I'm guessing Per is the only friend that Knight has among all the schoolmates, which is good. He has a best friend. We at school, and Tom and Tonla went to Khan to see if Khan heard of Mild. And unfortunately, Khan has not been in touch with Mal for a while. Khan tries to call Mild, and just like everyone else, he can't get him either. Remember, they have a play to go to. They have a Romeo and Juliet to do. See, when I was watching this, I was like, didn't they do this already? Didn't they do Romeo and Juliet already? And then I remembered, dude, I'm mistaking this one with Secret Lovers Romeo and Juliet. Then we see Tom's girlfriend coming and talking about how she's upset that Tom didn't answer her phone calls. Tom tries to explain to her that there's a situation where he can't find his friend Mild. She gets even more upset because Tom keeps talking about his friends this and his friends that. Mild this, Mild that. Ma'am, you ain't that important. I get it. You're the girlfriend, but you didn't even care about this man. Then we see Mild, who is still hiding from everyone, and he's staying with this guy who I still don't know, but I don't know his name, but apparently they are relatives. His relative tries to tell Mild that he can't really stay and hide forever from reality. He has to go to school, he has to face reality itself, and hopefully tries to sit down with the people and get to listen about the explanation of what really went down. Because honestly, there's got to be more to the story. You just didn't sit and listen. But then again, to hear exactly what really happened, I would want to sit and listen to any more of the explanation. You did this to me. That's all I need to know. Then this guy shows up. He turns out to be the relative's husband. Okay, so we're at school rehearsing for the play, and because of the situation with Mild, Knight cannot focus. Khan already sees that Knight is distracted, so he tells him to take a rest for a while. Then we have Pearl, who is super head over heels of Khan. So honestly, their storm will come very soon, and it's gonna be strong. The question is how they will survive it. Mal got dropped off at school by his relative and husband, and all Mal could think about is the wonderful thing that he went through with Knight, but also trying to calculate how everything go down to the point that Knight approached him, but he didn't complain because he liked Knight. He still does, but then he has to think about the situation that happened on that very night. As he got to school, he got a call from his friends that finally got to speak to him, and he was greeted with 3 people. Now, here's where Mal went wrong. He should have had like an emergency someone just in case something happens. But instead, he hides and no one knows where he is. No one knows how to communicate with him. That is bad. I don't think Mal even understands the problem that he has caused. As soon as they got to rehearsal, Knight sees Mild and tries to approach him to talk to him and get a chance to explain on his perspective of things happening. Dude, you should have done that a long time ago. Instead, he is met with, no, I don't want to talk to you right now. I'm here just to rehearse. That is it. Then, after leaving, the girlfriend of Tom comes because apparently she cooled off from being upset with him. Then Tom tells her it's the situation about, well, not full situation. She just tells him there was a situation with Mild. She sounds more concerned about Mild than her own boyfriend. Then the friend of this girlfriend, I feel like the girlfriend is being influenced by the friend because, let's be honest, she liked Knight, didn't get Knight, whatever it is. That's another story for another day that I'm not going to go into. Drop the girl. Break up the girl. Boy, somebody needs to knock some sense into this boy. One thing I can say about these two is they did their acting job really good because I hate their character. And if that was the aim, then they did it very well. This is how you know Tom is blind by love, and it's so stupid. I'm so upset about it. The girl tries to convince Tom to get her in to see the rehearsal because, let's be honest, she doesn't even want to be with the guy, but she's using him. And he's just there, oh, I can't because I don't think Khan will approve of it. But, you know, you can cheer on the sidelines, but when the show starts, you can come and see it like, bitch. How dumb can you be? Then Tom and Tonla went back to the rehearsal room and Mild apologized for his behavior because let's be honest, shit could have happened to you and no one knows. Do you know who will blame themselves the most? Knight. If something happens to Mild, Knight will blame himself to the end of the earth. But then Knight came and tries to convince Mild so they can go out and talk because he needs to give his side of the story of what really went down the night that he thinks that, things happened. Knight, here's my choice of telling you this. Not my choice, but here's what I think. That you should have told this boy a long time ago. No, you waited till the wrong information came out and you want to tell your side of the story. You see how stupid that is? Okay, so they went outside and Mild made sure he went a distance away from Knight. Knight then tries to explain something of the things that happened, but that is not how Mild wants things to be. He doesn't want to hear the explanation. Instead of hearing the full story and the explanation from Knight, Mild ended up kissing Knight. And he gave the most stupid response, some reason to why he kissed him. Miles said he's giving Knight back his kiss and that they're done and he doesn't want to see him anymore. I've never seen anyone talk about giving back kisses. How does one give back kiss? Can you do that? No. You know what? Moving on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be as hard as it gets. It's going to be hard. A very long road to go. Because now Knight probably has to take Pearl's advice and beg for forgiveness. He's got to beg until there's no beg to get. So, honestly, I really want to know the side of the story from Knight's perspective. Because if that's not what really happened, what really happened? Because I need to know. Clearly, he was, you can't be stupid to fake it. Then came this girl. For those who don't know who this girl is Knight's friend with benefit. Not anymore. They don't communicate either. And also, she's the friend of Tom's girlfriend. The one that I said is manipulating her. She came to Mild telling him to finally move on away from Knight so she can have him. My friend, you ain't getting Knight. The fact that you so high and mighty that's gonna even work, trying to convince Miles that Knight doesn't really love him, he loves her and he's doing all this to get to her. Like, really? I just want to laugh. Okay, at the restaurant, Mild and his two best friends are there, and his two best friends are telling Mild exactly what went down at the home when he left and how Mud did not let Knight leave lightly, and Knight did not even fight back. At school, we managed to go through the rehearsal with no problems. I mean, as you can see, even though Mild is upset with Knight, he still cares for Knight. I mean, he's deeply in love with the guy, but the problem is the shit that he did. But Knight never gave up on trying to explain his side of the story to Mild. But at this point in time, you had many chances, and Mild does not want to hear it at this moment. He even threatened Knight that if he follows him again, he will never forgive him or end up in a relationship with him. That alone literally stopped Knight because he really wants to be with Mild. And for those words to hit, no, thank you. It's the day after play, and I ain't gonna lie to you, this outfit fits so good on him. While he was waiting and meditating, he was literally trying to think of the good times that he had with Knight, the best part of the relationship, until Knight slowly and quietly sat in front of him. Honestly, they're both stupid in love, because Mild tells Knight that if he touched him, he will hate him forever. And Knight said to Mild that, okay, then hate me forever till the end of time, and end up kissing him. Honestly, I can't tell who's more stupid. One thing I can say is that Knight really loves Mild, and that part he never hides or tell a lie on. Mild does care for Knight as well, but this whole situation, oh my gosh. Even though Mild doesn't know the reason on Knight's perspective of stories, and he's still not hating, but he's still upset with Knight. He did give Knight 50%. 50% of forgiveness. Knight is actually happy because that's half. Now he wants to know what he has to do to get the other 50%, makes 100% to be on the good side of Mild. He's rushing into it, but it is progress. Okay, so the play start, Knight parents came and Pearl's mother came. The combination of these three will shock you real soon. I'll tell you, just bear with me. The play ended up great. Knight even improvises in some part of the scenes too. Then we see Knight's father along with Pearl's mother talking to reporters about how much they put into this play. Like, dude, are we talking about the fact that you put money for this play to even go through? What about the children? Anyways, the reporter is mostly focused on the parents. Knight's mother tells Knight that he did so good in the play and even went to talk to Mild. She seems to like Mild a lot because Knight talks about Mild all the time. But while Pearl's parents outside talking about their charity shit, Pearl's out in here doing freaky shit with Khan. And then he realized, oh right, my parent is here. Emphasize on the parents, hold up. Pearl came, greeted Knight's mother, and dragged Knight to the podium or where the reporters are with his parents. When they went up, the reporters started asking Pearl questions on the play, and Pearl started thanking up a lot of people that helped with the play. Knight, on the other end, is the introvert. He doesn't like spotlight, so he doesn't talk much. Only Pearl. Pearl is the extrovert. We already saw that part. Then the reporter started asking questions about love life, and Pearl was not hesitating to tell them that he is in love and in a relationship, but his mother, on the other end, looking at the person that Pearl knows who is he talking about, ended up telling the reporters that not to talk about this and focus on the main focus, which is their donation and their business that they're putting into it. I'm like, dude, you came for the play. Why are we talking about business on a play situation? Like, dude. Then came the shocker. See, the thing is, Knight and Pearl are not friends. They're brothers. They share the same they share the same father. Oh my god. I was shocked. I'm like, your brothers? So their mother and father are not really together. I'm assuming the mother for Knight and the father for him are together, but not with the mother for Pearl, because Pearl's older than Knight. Other than to find out that Khan and Mild finding out that their boyfriends are brothers, can we talk about how Knight's mother is just smiling, like she's calm and collective? It's very rare to find parents who do not like communicate or share the same children or in one room. You understand what I mean? Well, judging by this mother's face, she's not happy to see Khan, and Khan is gonna have a hard time with her. That's part of the storm that they need to figure out how they're gonna handle the situation. Anyways, guys, that is the end of my personal recap on episode 6 of Doctor's Mind. Stay tuned for my recap on episode 7.